I cannot believe this is actually happening, guys. After a very long time, Plarium has finally implemented this feature into the game, and I believe this is going to be one of the best, if not the best, update that Raid has put out in a very long time. This update is one of the craziest and probably my all-time favorite now once it does release, and that is, of course, we finally have access to the previous fusions. Now, how you get these previous fusions, so pretty much you have to come over here to the fusion. As you can see, for the anniversary, we are about to get our fusion champion. The champion's actually not that bad. I am going to be going for it as a free-to-play. It is actually going to be a very solid champion. So I'm going to go ahead and put on screen right now a clip from Plarium's official video. What you can see is that you can actually change your fusion champions. Now, the selected heroes you see on screen currently are going to be worth 3 tokens. Now, in order to get these tokens, there are actually categories. There is a 1, then 2, and then the 3 token category. How you get these tokens, it's actually very simple. You have to complete these fusions. So as an example here, we are about to get a brand new faction. So right here, the Argonites. The Argonites legendary, if we are able to complete his fusion, we will get 1 token. You will pretty much get tokens for any fusion you get, aside from the fragments. So traditional fusions and hybrid fusions, you will get a token. Which means in around 3 months, you should have a total of 2 tokens at least. And on your 4th month, you should hopefully be able to select a 3 token category champion. And again, I'm going to put it on screen. Look at these champions. It is so insane to finally have them back, because me, myself, I've missed out on so many fusions. And this is actually going to be particularly helpful to new players who didn't even miss these. They just couldn't have gotten it because they played too late. That is such a nice feature that Plarium is finally giving us, the free-to-play community. Well, not just the free-to-play. Everybody in the community is going to be benefiting from this massively. It's going to boost your progression by so much. So if you take a look, as you can see, there are so many overpowered champions that you can get. Firstly, from the top row, of course, you have those Void Legendaries, but it's more on the non-Voids. Those are the crazy ones, such as Wixwell, Thor, Ormans, Pythion, Nishak, Fabian, Newt, Roadhouse, and Helicath. Even Yostrid should be up there. These champions are going to be so good. And personally, I'm pretty sure you should be only going for these 3 tokens ones. I don't believe the 2 tokens and 1 tokens are going to be that useful. Now, of course, there will be some other new stuff coming into the games. Like I said earlier, the Argonites faction, we are finally going to have a ton of new champions here, including the new fusion. The new fusion legendary is going to be an Argonite, and he is going to be super helpful. I highly recommend everybody getting for it. It doesn't matter where you are in the game, because you will need him for faction wars in the future. And if you guys are progressing, he is actually a crazy progression champion. And so from the list up here, you see those 3 token champions, right? Which ones do I actually highly recommend going for? Well, if you were to take a look at my free-to-play account right here, this is pretty much the roster. Everybody who isn't in the vault is currently being used, and everybody in the vault, I don't believe I actually have any use for them, and they're not even like those sleep-on champions. They're just straight up garbage. But from the roster right here, you guys can feel free to just take a pause here and check out my entire roster here. But I believe for most people, the number 1 legendary you should be going for from this list is going to be Newt. Now, Newt unlocks hard Fire Knight for you. If you guys don't have Newt, it is actually almost impossible to do Fire Knight hard 10. It's extremely difficult to do, so I do believe Newt is definitely going to be the best champion that you can possibly get. And he is also going to be very overpowered for hard Spider. My account already has 1 Newt, but if you were allowed to fuse, we don't know yet if you're allowed to fuse them over and over again, but if you are able to fuse at least 2 of these Newts, you will be able to speedrun Hard Fire Knight and Hard Spider really easily, as well as some other bosses. Another champion that is very useful, and I highly recommend getting him. It doesn't matter if it's PvP, if you're going for PvE, wave content, Ormans is literally one of the best champions, one of the best fusions that's ever come to Raid. Because of this skill right here, he has an AoE stun and then fully depletes turn meter. This is such a disgusting move because he basically grants himself another turn. And he's going to place a sheep, which is really good. And which means this skill basically is already done cycling. His passive is also quite solid. His A1 is a lockout and also gives him turn meter. He also has a nice speed aura and arena. But pretty much this champion is the best crowd control champion that you can actually get in this game. And that is why he is very high up in the list of which champions I recommend getting. And me personally, I don't believe I'm going to be getting myself a second loot because I can actually clear Hard Spider and Hard Fire Knight easily. So probably Ormans is going to be my number one pick for my own account. Now I have found Fabian on my account, but he is going to be really, really good. If you guys have Ormans, then I highly recommend going for Fabian. If you guys have Fabian, I recommend going for Ormans. They pretty much do the same job. Ormans just does it way better. He can actually fully lock out the enemy skills with this skill, and he also technically removes all the enemy buffs. And he also has a condition of granting an extra turn for himself. He puts the Petrify and then True Fear on everybody. Very, very good. And anybody who gets revived is also going to get an instant True Fear. Next champion that I'm probably going to be getting for my account, which is actually going to be very good as well. One of the best Hydra damage dealers back in the day. And that is going to be the champion that will be right beside Ormans. That is going to be Thor. Now Thor is one of the hardest hitting champions in the game, especially for Hydra. So Thor is going to be very, very useful. And overall, he is such a hard-hitting champion. That's basically what you want him for. He's just going to deal a ridiculous amount of damage. Everything else in his kit doesn't really matter, but he does bring decreased speed for Hydra, which is also a very, very huge thumbs up. But we really don't care, we just want him there for the damage. The decreased speed is just an extra bonus. And another champion that is actually going to be very fun for my account, I believe I am going to go for him even though he's actually not that impactful already. I just want him for the sake of the OGs. OGs would know how crazy broken Rotos is back in the day. Literally the best PvP champion in the entire game and one of the hardest hitting champions in the entire game. This guy is so nostalgic, guys. Comment down below if you guys do still miss the OG Rotos. But back in the day, he would literally take infinite turns, kill off everybody in your team. And Arena was a complete joke, and it was so easy if you possessed this guy, because he just deals so much damage and takes infinite turns. Now, some special shoutouts that I will be giving to these champions are of course going to be on screen again. Now, of course, Pythion is going to be very good. Ukos, very good. Helicath unlocks a lot of potential clan boss teams for unkillables, or block damage rather. Ancora, I don't really recommend. And then the Void Legendaries up there. I'm not familiar with the first one, but I wouldn't really go for these Void Legendaries unless you have all of the champions that I actually listed earlier in the video. Yostrid is actually going to be super good everywhere in the game, but specifically Hydra is going to be super, super good. She can actually put decreased speed and weaken. The turn meter decrease obviously doesn't help, but she also brings you increased speed, increased attack, and fills turn meter, then grants an extra turn. She is basically a more broken Deacon Armstrong, so I really do recommend, if you guys love Deacon Armstrong, then you are going to 100% love how broken Yostrid is. And on her A1, she also of course has a chance of sleep. And here, basically, it's just going to be very good. It's just even more healing. And the nice thing is, we also have a massive speed aura for Arena. And if you guys have any other questions, comment down below, and I will see you all in the next video.